absolutely love what you're getting access to on the free version here in Windows, and it comes with Windows. Or there is also a browser version available too. But this is going to be a great free option for someone looking for something really simple, where they can make basic edits, but also get a little bit more advanced with some of the AI functionality in there too. But really with a focus on simplicity and not overwhelm. Software option number 2 is CapCut. This is one that we talk about a lot on this channel, and it really is a powerhouse of a tool. So this one will work on Windows, it'll work on Mac. There's also an iPhone and Android version available as well, meaning that you can work cross-platform, cross-device backups. So Intuit, then this is going to be more difficult than that, but it's still stuck the amount of in there. But also AI tools and good level effects that are now included in there, but also AI tools and AI functionality as well. So you've got the ability to edit your videos from text because it can transcribe everything, and it can auto remove things like pauses and filler words as well. It's also got the background removal, the captions. It's even got AI avatars and AI voices and things in there as well. But overall, the experience of making your videos in CapCut is really fast because the tools that you've got access to are still really aimed at a beginner to intermediate level, meaning that you're not going to get bogged down and overwhelmed in all this pro-grade stuff. You're going to be able to find everything as you need it and be able to create something really fast. Now, I really think that CapCut is one of the biggest innovators in this space right now. The amount of tools and functionality and updates that these guys are rolling out is crazy, and how far they've come in the last few years to where they are now is really insane. And it's also at the point where this is one of the most popular video editing tools or apps out there right now. But it is worth noting that not that long ago, everything in CapCut was completely free. And they only seem to be going down this path of making everything that is decent in there a requirement for you to be on the Pro plan. I'm even starting to see on different devices of mine now where I don't actually have the ability to export on the free version of CapCut a video without a watermark. Some of them will give me 7 exports per month. Others, I need to be on the Pro plan to be able to export any. So it really does look like they're pushing people now to be on the Pro plan, whereas before it was a pretty decent free option as well. But I don't think that's a deal breaker. I'm still mentioning it here because it is one of the best tools out there. And in terms of pricing, it's really not that bad considering what you're getting access to, especially when you're comparing it to a lot of the other options out there. The cheapest I've seen, and something that I see posted about a lot, is around $7.99 per month as a starting place for CapCut Pro. But I've also seen people posting up to $19 or $20 per month for CapCut Pro. But I think the fact that the pricing isn't clearly listed anywhere and it's changing like Eureka because dedicated. So I think this, but the 2 is Descript. This is one that I'm probably geeking out on the most right now. This is another one that's come so far in the last few years to what it is now. But in terms of it being video editing software, this is a total new
Cause you're not talking. So I will not. Why not be
So straight out, you can record directly into Descript, which is actually how I'm recording this video and how we're recording all of our YouTube
videos. Boy, I'm viral already,
you know. Content right now too. But the moment you record something, it's automatically transcribed. And then there's a focus on the text part, where you can easily edit your videos down using text. So already that's a fundamental shift in editing, taking the focus off you really needing to dive in and figure everything out to I'm just editing a Word document or a Google Doc.
If you always want to start your own clothing brand, like Sporty Lit, Adamona, or Amy Young Door,
it's that simple. But taking that to the next level is where they've integrated this with all of their AI functionality. So not only does this have the ability with one click to remove the filler words, the ums, the ahs, the so's, there's also AI functionality to analyze your script and remove any mistakes and retakes. Now, as someone who makes a lot of mistakes and does a lot of retakes, it is so cool to see how powerful this is that with a couple of clicks, I can remove all the bad takes, the mistakes, all of that stuff, and just be left with what it thinks is the core content, the usable stuff, which is insane. And what's really cool is it's making the judgment call on where it should make edits. It's even cutting sentences in half, and it seems to be picking the one. Even cut your tool using make from but to description, load, and saved tool as for you. Don't be that quite want to geek out here and not do obvious to etching this type, which is great. Given that, yeah. It brings us to number 4, which is DaVinci Resolve. This is another one where I geek out on and I talk about a lot on this channel. The free version of DaVinci Resolve is insane. It is literally pro-grade software that you get access to for free. Yes, there is a paid version of it as well. It's $299, and it gives you access to all of their more advanced stuff, so their AI functionality too. But I'd say part of the reason why this is one of the most popular tools out there right now is because
DaVinci
the free
Resolve
version is
that we are
absolutely
using the
amazing.
video
And
them.
again, pro-grade software. They're literally editing Hollywood movies and stuff on this. Now, DaVinci Resolve, it isn't just video editing software, it is so much more, and it's broken down into these pages or sub-apps really inside of the bigger software platform. Everything from a dedicated workspace and tools for importing your footage to doing a base edit or a quick edit through to the actual editing interface, the main editing page. Think of this like your Adobe Premiere equivalent. There's also dedicated pages for things like motion graphics and effects. Think Adobe After Effects, but built in. Likewise, there's one for professional audio and sound creation, and the color page. This is something that people use and bring their projects into Resolve, whether they're using Resolve to edit or not. The color page is so powerful. So you can see that you're not just getting access to editing software, it really is a whole suite, a whole production toolbox here. But that also obviously adds to the complexity and to the learning curve of this. I would not recommend DaVinci Resolve to beginners at all. I would say if you're at that intermediate level, or you're someone who wants to learn and to figure this stuff out, knowing that you are using pro-grade software, then this is the one for you. The ability for you to really dial everything in, to customize up your workflows and get frame-by-frame accurate editing, again using pro-grade tools, then this is your best option. So this works on Windows, it works on Mac, there is a Linux version as well, and this is also next level when it comes to cloud-based workflows and transferring projects and collaborative editing. DaVinci Resolve really has like a shared timeline experience as well, where you can actually see edits being made by someone that could be anywhere else in the world. So if you are working with team, you are working with editors, then this could obviously be a good option for you too. But it is worth noting that this being a beast of a program, you will need to have a somewhat powerful computer to be able to use it and get the most out of it. So it's definitely worth checking out the system requirements to make sure that your computer is powerful enough to have a good experience in here. So I've said the free version, absolutely amazing. The pro version, the studio version, unlocks all the AI functionality, and there's a lot. Again, you can edit by text, like we've seen in a few of the other options. There's ability in here to remove some filler words, remove some pauses and gaps, but it is definitely not as good as the experience in Descript for this. It's got AI background removal. There's the ability to relight your scene, and this is something that just blew my mind when I saw it for the first time. Again, I've got a dedicated video linked in the description box below. Just geeking out for removal. It is Devon's function, absolutely amazing. The pro version, the studio version, unlocks all the AI function abs. Make sure that you can get the pro, then there's some ads that want to give, and to the whole production toolbox here. But not just getting access to editing software, it really is a whole suite, a whole production toolbox here. But that also obviously adds to the complexity and to the learning curve of this. I would not recommend DaVinci Resolve to beginners at all. I would say if you're at that intermediate level, or you're someone who wants to learn and to figure this stuff out, knowing that you are using pro-grade software, then this is the one for you. The ability for you to really dial everything in, to customize up your workflows and get frame-by-frame accurate editing, again using pro-grade tools, then this is your best option. So this works on Windows, it works on Mac, there is a Linux version as well, and this is also next level when it comes to cloud-based workflows and transferring projects and collaborative editing. DaVinci Resolve really has like a shared timeline experience as well, where you can actually see edits being made by someone that could be anywhere else in the world. So if you are working with team, you are working with editors, then this could obviously be a good option for you too. But it is worth noting that this being a beast of a program, you will need to have a somewhat powerful computer to be able to use it and get the most out of it. So it's definitely worth checking out the system requirements to make sure that your computer is powerful enough to have a good experience in here. So I've said the free version, absolutely amazing. The pro version, the studio version, unlocks all the AI functionality, and there's a lot. Again, you can edit by text, like we've seen in a few of the other options. There's ability in here to remove some filler words, remove some pauses and gaps, but it is definitely not as good as the experience in Descript for this. It's got AI background removal. There's the ability to relight your scene, and this is something that just blew my mind when I saw it for the first time. Again, I've got a dedicated video linked in the description box below, just geeking out on my favorite AI features inside of DaVinci Resolve, if that's a fit for you. But the other reason that this is so powerful, and again, pro-grade software, is that Blackmagic, the company that makes this, isn't just making the software. They also have so much hardware that they're creating as well that integrates directly with it. I'm talking cameras, I'm talking
tutorial on how
decks,
to use
color grading
DaVinci.
decks and dashboards and boards. And even if you're not at the full pro level of that, there's some awesome editing tools and things that will help you edit faster if you are serious about doing this and you're doing it a lot. And a lot of the cameras and products and things actually come with the Studio license for DaVinci Resolve. So if you're exploring that and you're considering buying the Studio version, which I do think is awesome, then it's always worth checking out what hardware you might be interested as well, because you might find that for not much more than the cost of the software, you're getting the software and an amazing piece of hardware, which will speed things up for you too. But again, I wouldn't recommend this one for beginners. If you're at that intermediate to advanced level, this could be a great option for you. So let me know down in the comments, which one are you currently using, or which one are you going to be looking into now after watching this video. Don't forget, we've got a bunch of other resources in the description box below, and also linked on screen is our free PDF editing guide, helping you edit your videos faster with the most streamlined process. No matter which tool or app or software you are using, this is going to be a game changer for you. So don't forget to grab your free copy, and I will see you.
In this video, I'll get you up and running with it in 10 minutes. Start by downloading the latest version of the DaVinci Resolve software from the Blackmagic website, which I'll link below. While there is a paid version, you can get 90% of functionality from the free version. Once you've downloaded and installed it, this window will pop up. This is where we're going to create a new project. Give it a name and click Create. Now the main software will open up, and while DaVinci is a very advanced software, if you want it to be, it can also be a simple one. So down the bottom, you'll notice from left to right, there are different workspaces, all designed to do something different. There's media for importing your shots, cut for doing basic edits, edit for doing more complex edits, fusion for visual effects, color for color grading, fairlight for audio editing, and deliver for exporting. If you're working on a simple video though, and you want to keep your workflow super short, then you can head straight to the edit page, where we can import our media directly into here. Before we do that though, head down to the bottom right and click the gear icon to open the project settings. Here we're going to set our project resolution and frame rate. Personally, I like shooting in 4K at 50 FPS, so I'm going to set my project to that. However, many of you will also be using HD, in which case you choose 1920 by 1080, with whichever frame rate you personally prefer. If you're not sure, I'd recommend choosing 30. To keep things simple, I'm not going to touch anything else except for proxy media format. Just make sure it's not selected as ProRes 422, since that format is total overkill for basic video previews. So I'm going with H.264 instead. Now click Save to save your preferences. Next, we're going to import our video clips into the project. To do that, we're going to go to the media pool on the left-hand side. If it doesn't show up automatically, just click it here and it will show up. This is where we're going to drag and drop our files directly into the project. And that's as simple as drag and drop. Now this box may appear when you do this, and what it's suggesting is that you change the project frame rate to the same frame rate as the footage. So you will want to click change so your frame rates are consistent. At any point throughout your edit, you can drag more videos, photos, music, or audio files into the media pool. Okay, now the clips we've imported are available here on the left-hand side. Just double-click one to have it show up in the viewer, where you can easily scrub over the timeline to preview the shot. Down the bottom, we've got the project timeline, which is where we'll be editing the clips, and you can zoom in and out of the timeline through the plus and minus here. Up the top, we've got our previews, and there's an option to create either a single or a double preview. Double preview will allow you to view both shots from your media pool on the left, as well as your timeline preview here on the right. However, I would recommend using one only so you can have more screen real estate for your main timeline. Alright, now let's edit. To do so, drag your first clip from the media pool onto the timeline, and you can drop it anywhere really. It doesn't have to be at the very start. I like to leave a little bit of space in case I want to add something in front later. And as for the timeline, the blue track is video and the green track is audio. As you can see by the waveform platforms of this clip. To watch back, you can simply move the playhead along the timeline or tap the spacebar and it will play in real time. You can make your audio and video tracks bigger or smaller by dragging this bar, the top and bottom, and this helps increase the preview size.
Stress out YouTube.
It's the best free video editing software for PC and Mac right now. We've tested all the leading options and there are some seriously powerful options right now with no watermarks. So this is my shortlist for the best free video editors in 2024. So my top recommendations in this video are all amazing free video editing options. Yes, they do have a paid option, but that's not what we're covering here. The free version of these are fully functional without watermarks, and they're pretty awesome. Option number one is CapCut. Now, this is something that we talk about a lot on this channel because it's pretty awesome, and because it works on Mac, it works on Windows. There is an iOS and an Android version as well. It is really easy to use. The overall interface and experience is great if you're someone who is an absolute beginner level, never edited before. This is not going to be too overwhelming and too daunting for you. You'll be able to jump in and figure this out, but it's also got a ton of really powerful and more advanced features in here as well. One of the biggest things for me that makes CapCut a clear leader in this space over a lot of the other options, especially if you're someone at that beginner to intermediate level, is the amount of built-in effects, transitions, animations, but not just having them in there, having them really easy to use and to customize up, meaning that you can create something that looks absolutely amazing with very little effort. But there's also a good amount of control over editing and making minor adjustments and really tweaking things to get them the way that you want them. CapCut, in my opinion, is probably the most innovative video editing tool out there right now. It is crazy how fast it is growing and evolving and the amount of features that they're adding in there. Most times I'm opening the app there. It's also got the most amount of AI functionality and AI tools out there as well. And there's actually quite a few of those that are included in the free version. Obviously, if you want to unlock all the AI functionality and all the functionality of CapCut, you will need to upgrade to a pro account. But for a lot of people out there, you're going to find the free version will probably do everything that you want. The other thing that's worth noting is that there's a lot of stock footage and music and sound effects that are easily accessible in the app. The licensing wise, I'd be very cautious using any of those, as I would with any video editing tool or app. I'd much rather own the license, and that's where for stock footage we like Storyblocks and Motion Array, and for music and sound effects we use Artlist and Epidemic Sound. And it's also worth noting that CapCut is owned by the company ByteDance, which also owns TikTok. So for those of you that are anti-TikTok or whatever, then it's worth knowing that this is essentially the same company. Now, for me, that's really not a concern. I think what you're getting access to here for totally
CapCut. I look too complex for you. Not for beginners. CapCut look simple and easy. Simple and easy.